Chat. It's happening.
Okay. All
Own.
right. Okay, I got you guys in here. Now let me change the layout. The grid. Boom. Bam.
That's nice. Much better.
Oh.
I'm trying to find... The only reason I don't like this is because I can't change my background to what I want it to be.
Oh, you poor thing.
I'm done. We're not doing this, guys. I'm just messing with you.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like the green screen helps.
Yeah, I just need to go pick mine up. I've been kind of busy lately.
Baish said he requested to join.
Okay. Oh, I've got to follow him real quick. Return it, and then invite guests. Okay, there we go. And then I'll change the grid to 4 instead of 6. How exciting! We're all just hanging out, having fun.
Hey,
My wife said that I'm breathing real heavy on here. Is that correct?
Yeah. Darth Jude.
Wait, what?
Good.
Okay, cool. Now we're good. We're golden. Golden.
What is-
Hey, bro, I
sweet
like
potatoes that I just bought.
What's going on?
I like how you said, "Yeah, I'll see you in an hour," and it was more like 5 minutes.
He told me 2 hours, and then he said
What?
5 minutes as soon as I got off the phone with you.
It is what it is, guys. Baish knows how I am. Baish know me longer than all of you. It's kind of whenever I'm ready.
Okay, is that it? Okay, sorry, Master. My bad.
I got that gingerness, I got to do what I want. Not really, but
You get to do it? Okay. All right. Calm down over there.
I know. I'm just joking.
I'm like, do I got to send a search and rescue for my soul? Because I think he just crushed it.
You take souls.
Hey, look at him over here representing his podcast, Return of the Critics.
No,
I'm with it.
Yep.
Do you want me to take it? No.
Hey, we're on a live, man. Pay attention. I'm joking.
How would you like me to pay you, sir? Do you want a luminaria quartz? Do you want a rose quartz? Would you like this giant obsidian for paying?
You know what?
I want the obsidian.
You know what that reminds me of? Have you seen the TikToks where they dig through those big pools full of just quartz and stones and give them to people?
Okay. Wait. Well,
No? Wow. I guess all of our TikToks are different.
well, to be honest, I haven't really been. I don't really scroll. I just barely started the whole TikTok thing again. Just I don't know, a week ago.
All
Because
right.
of you.
Okay. All right. Hey, well, anybody, it looks like there's 11 people on my end. I need you guys to be liking and sharing this because we got some big news to talk about tonight.
Yes,
but we need to
don't
get
forget
some
to
people
tap
in
that
this
screen.
room. We need people.
There we go.
Is this
you
a-
can tap the screen yourself too?
Yes, I know.
You gotta
I
at least go
think-
up the bar at least once. Just once. We gotta get some recognition. We got a story to get out.
Yeah. Which is not really letting me. Do what?
I'm inviting people right now, so if I'm looking
Oh,
down,
sweet.
then I'm...
Is this the same thing where it shows we each see different people, or do we all see the same comments?
You guys are all invited to my group. You guys can all see my stuff.
Okay. So do my people know that we're live right now?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Man, you're making me write all these damn processes and trying to figure this stuff out.
Well, hey, that's kind of the point of what we're doing here, dude.
I'm just eating shrimp.
I know.
I'm okay.
Did you say you're eating shrimp?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
And my wife is making soap.
Yeah, so yes, I've been looking for this adapter because I have this adapter that just hooks my whole podcast set to my phone. So as long as I sound good, I'm happy with that. Oh, hello, April.
Hey, dudes.
I'm trying to change my background.
Soap.
You can do it. Mine only looks decent because I have a green screen behind me.
I'm going to change my background. Oh, there.
If you hit enhance, you can change. Oh, hey, look at that.
Hey,
That's nice.
That actually isn't bad for not having a green screen. What's going on, Brofiki? What are you
is
doing?
that Mr. T?
I'm sending. I can only invite. I can only send 10 invites at a time.
Right. This has been shared several times.
Okay, it's fine. We're learning. We're learning as
I've
we
been the
go.
fool.
It's all good. People are gonna like this, and they're gonna start getting into this. So,
it does record though in the free TikTok Live cloud, and then you can take clips from it, and then we use that on other social media platforms.
okay, cool. Sounds good to me. Did you see you're eating shrimp? Because it looks like you're eating candy.
Well, now I'm eating candy because I had to come back in here. You think one or the other?
Is that Kanye on the bottom?
we got Kanye and Mr. T. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Hey, this is the
Wait,
first time
who
black
would
people have been in a
Jukebox
room
be,
with
and
music
who would
all
I
day.
be if we were celebrities?
I would be the redheaded stepchild. You know, the one that everybody knows about.
Wait, they know about you?
Everybody knows about the redheaded stepchild. Everybody knows about the redheaded stepchild. I mean, I thought it was funny. Nobody else is laughing, so whatever.
I gave you a pity laugh. I said, huh?
Yeah, you did. It's cool.
Look, I'm eating my candy. Leave me alone.
So let's kind of talk about why we're doing this right now. First off, awesome, Ray. To be honest with you, I think you talking to Brofiki and I about kind of, you know, mental health, just your side of it really kind of piqued our interest in doing this. So a big shout out to you. And I think there's a lot to say from a lot of musical artists, is especially through their music, is they all have stories to tell. So and you definitely have, you know, some pretty interesting things that have happened to you recently that have kind of helped. I feel like music has helped you through a lot of it, correct?
Oh, absolutely, man. 100%. I mean, it's music is definitely therapy, you know what I mean? And I think it's important as I continue on this journey and I'm continuing to learn that I share my story and other stories if they'll allow me to, and just try to encourage people, because it's not just a one-time thing that I'm honestly learning. It is a daily, sometimes a hourly, you know, fight every day. Every single day. Every second of every day.
Yeah, and we've all got every one of us in this room has a story to tell.
Yeah. I think you said that, Ray.
What'd you say?
I said, thanks for sharing that, Ray. Like, honestly, but he's right. Like, when we got off the phone with you after our interview for our podcast, and I'm like, dude, like, this is why I like music, and I turn to music to begin with, is because it helps me, like, when I'm sad and shit, like, I literally have a playlist for every emotion. I'm a fish, man. I'm a Pisces. What do you expect? I have, like, 289 playlists, one for every time of the day and every emotion. And I'm like, oh, this is how I'm feeling right now. I'm going to this playlist, and it's very specific music from specific musicians. And I'm like, they made this because I can relate to it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, that song Serotonin, like, gets me every single time. And it's literally like, I'm not okay. Don't call me, whatever. And I'm like, but it was just like kind of like a one-hit wonder. Well, hello. So that was the whole thing. I'm like, why don't we just pair this in already? Like, he'll be back.
Ginger's gone.
No. He'll be back. There we go. Bring back in you. So that's where I got the idea when I got off. I'm like, dude, why don't we like start asking people, what were you going through when you wrote this song? That's why I asked you that.
Yeah.
It's like, what were you going through when you wrote that? And so then I figured, why don't I tie that into everything? And then when we, the week after you, we interviewed the Hustle Standard. And my favorite song is Never Stay Down. And that was after his wife passed from cancer and whatnot. And that song literally has got me through so many things. Like, I literally want to tattoo the lyrics on my leg. I really do. That's how much that song means to me. And he told me, he was like, I was at my lowest of lows. I had food poisoning. I thought I was going to die, whatever. And it was so cool for him to like, just like, that's the story that we're capturing for every musician out there. And we're just throwing out there, like, if you want to work with us, like, we're really going to get to the bottom of this. And most people are just like, nobody asks us these questions. And I'm like, Why? And it's because we're supposed to. Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've we've only been doing this for a few months now, and we're booked out the new year already because there's so many artists, man. There's so many people with stories to tell. So we decided to do this virtual concert concept, and a big part of it is because of you talking about the mental health aspect, and we all do. I mean, even Baish here has a story to tell too, and I've heard it, but I mean he's had an interesting past too that's made
Look at that
him where he's at now. Why don't you kind of tell everybody a little bit about you, man?
Yeah. What's got going on, Baish?
Like, in what aspect? Like, because, like, I started a podcast, or I had other podcasts, but I kind of grouped them together, which was Baish and Chunk and Return. Kind of put them together and, like, made, we have life episodes where we talk about stuff that happened in our lives. So, for me, I grew up as a punching bag for, like, my dad. So, it was go to school, come home, get beat up. Lunchtime, get, beat up. Having to hide, different stuff on my face because I had to tell people I'd get in fights, outside. I couldn't tell people I was getting beat up at home because then when I got back home, it'd be even worse. So, as I got older, that kind of put an imprint on me and kind of got me angry. I was a police officer for like 4 or 5 years. And like I've told Dylan, the stuff I saw being a police officer made me have no faith in our law, because I saw stuff where people would, COs of mine would tell me like, hey, it's that time of the, month. Let's go find some, brown people or whatever. So, that kind of stuff made me quit or stop doing what I was doing. I went overseas. I was in London for a while, working in the private sector, and then I've told Dylan this, was called back here because I woke up one night and had a dream about my old high school crush. And for some reason, just called her out of the blue, and, she was sick. I was here for a week. Everything was good, and I looked at her and I was like, hey, we should get married. And like, now I'm at where I'm at. Like, the woman that you saw before, that's my wife. So, like, everything I have now, who I am now, is I try to push so far away from like who my dad was. I've told Dylan this, the constant struggle. Because, you have thoughts, and like I told Dylan before, like I've had thoughts where like I want to, not be here anymore. I had a misfire once where I was at my lowest low, and I put a gun in my mouth and fired, and the chamber, the bullet got stuck in the chamber. It burned the shit out of my mouth, obviously, but I've told Dylan before, like, there's a reason why I'm still here.
Right.
There absolutely is. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, man.
I'm still here. Make Dylan laugh and do other things.
Yeah, you make me laugh all the damn time.
It's interesting to me. Real quick, Dylan, you got a lot of feedback. So just like when you're not talking, when you mute, please. There we go. It's interesting to me and not surprising that all of us have similar feelings. The story's different. The characters, the situations are different. But it's the feelings that we all share is really what brings us together. And the thing is that the stigma that we are trying to break is that we have to be strong as men in, our households, or we have to be the one to break the generational curse. We have to be the ones to do this. But even that puts a lot of pressure on us, right? So it's just like, fuck, I just want to be a normal person. Well, what is normal? It's a setting on a fucking dishwasher. What am I supposed to do? Wash dirty dishes all day? And those dishes are memories. Those dishes are karmic things that have happened in past lives. I don't want to fucking deal with that. I want to be here now. I want to live in the present moment. Like, why do I have to have all this weight of now I got to work, I got to pay all these bills, plus I got to deal with my own emotional shit? And it's like, people don't want to hear about your bad day. They don't want to hear about your mishaps, or somebody like their shopping cart ran down the hill and ran into your car, and you know, like little things that piss you off or whatever. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear, tell me something good because my day has been shit too. So I need you to entertain me and distract me and give me validation through any sort of love language, so I don't have to deal with my own shit. That's what men have to do. Men have to be that strong backbone and that fucking rock. And I'm like, who's going to be our rock? So that's where it's like, us men, we need to come together like, yo, there's a lot going on. And that's why I like this whole thing with Seek Safely and talking to you guys about all this stuff, because I've been pronounced dead 4 times. I tried to end my life 3 different ways. I'm still fucking here. I got pissed off at the point that I couldn't end my life, man. I really did. I woke up, one of the last times I woke up, you know, this is a couple years ago, 2017. I told my ex-wife at the time, we were just, you know, my son's mom, bless her soul. She's my best friend to this day, but like, I got such traumatic news, and had I not had my son that night with me, just because he wanted to be with me, I would be dead. Everything happens the way that it's supposed to. The next morning, I didn't know what to say to her because I felt defeated. My best friend took his life 7 years ago, this December, and it destroyed me. And it's almost like he had to be that example for me to know that how much pain I go through, I never want to put anyone through that. But it doesn't stop us from having those thoughts or feelings, because when you're stuck in that moment, what the fuck are you going to do? That's why I like seeksafely.org. After doing the research on it, it's like, it's a website and everything there. It's not pushing therapy. It's not pushing anything. It's like, here's some tools and resources for you to read about some other people's stories that they've shared using their voice. These are normal people. These are billionaires. These are philanthropists. These are doctors. These are, you know, church members. These are your pastor, your teachers. We all have the same shit. So we need to use our voice. And I'm freaking proud of you, Ray, for sharing that with me as a stranger when we first met. Now I'm like, I talk to you almost every day. And Baish, I just connected with you. And, you know, Dylan actually came onto my TikTok. I was on a spiritual journey, man. Like, I lost my job, ended up homeless in a car, and didn't know what to do. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to travel. So I got on TikTok live every day and just talked about anything and everything that came up. And that's just how people know me as, is like, he just speaks his truth. I'm like, I'm not here to say anything positive or negative. I'm like, I'm going to speak what's on my mind. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, there's a big reason, like, for me to start podcasting was that I work full time. Like, I work a lot of hours, and I come home, I've got my wife, my kids. I don't go out. So this was more my opportunity to have my me time and just to kind of come on and talk to people. You know, I met Baish. I met a lot. I mean, we have a whole ton of podcast buddies that we know now through it. I mean, I've had celebrities on. I've had, and everybody has stories to tell, whether they're musicians or they're comedians or they're just everyday people like Baish or me or Ray or you. And it's breaking the ice is not hard, man. I mean, and I mean, I'm sure it is for some people. I understand that there's anxiety and stress out there, but for me, like, I want to be that guy who can help you get through that just by starting a random ass conversation. You know, and for musicians, you know, they come on our show and they expect us to interview them about their music, and it's like, no, we want to hear about you and who you are and where you came from. Yep. And that's why we're where we are right now.
I think at the end of the day, and you guys can, you know, I think everyone would agree with this, is at the end of the day, we just want to be acknowledged. That's it. We don't need to be seen. We don't need to be heard. We just need to be acknowledged. Hey, that's acknowledgement. Somebody liking your thing, that's acknowledgement. You know, being seen is, I see what you're doing and I like what you're doing. Being heard is, I listened to what you had to say and it impacted my life this way. Those are all bonuses, but at the end of the day, we just want to be acknowledged. Just that we physically exist. I mean, I broke this down earlier this year. It's like, I paint my nails. I've got all these tattoos. I wear all this shit. I've got, you know, I normally have very colorful dreads. And subconsciously, I was doing it just so somebody would fucking notice me. I was so loud, like, just fucking say something, man. I'm giving you a million talking points. Ask me about my tattoos. Ask me about my jewelry. Ask me about my hair. Just say something. And most people will just walk right past you. And you're like, how do I not stick out like a sore thumb? It's like, I just want someone to say hi to me. That's it. That's how lonely I felt. That's one reason why we go and do that. And that's why I'm drawn to people that they have that self-expression. Now, I also learned that you do develop an ego status by doing those things. And secondly, sometimes we're doing it for the wrong type of attention. I want people to notice me to start a conversation so I can ask you guys questions. Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Oh,
he's talking about his ego.
He's got a little ego.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah. Mine is... No, I've had a couple of ego deaths, but most people don't even know what that is. Like, in order to have, like, this type of mindset, you have to become somebody and then learn that you became that somebody for all the wrong reasons, and you don't even like what you stand for. And so that was my whole thing. I wanted to be a bodybuilder because I'm like, man, I love the look of these guys. Like, honestly, I actually put this out here for motivation. So I've got this picture, right? Oh, I look fucking great. This is in a magazine, you know? I was a sponsored athlete, but I fucking hated myself. I had the best body I could ever ask for. I fucking hated it. Anytime anyone gave me any sort of attention, I'm like, this is superficial. This is fake. You wouldn't even look at me when I was 240 pounds chubby. Now you're looking at me like I'm a piece of meat. Go fuck yourself. Literally, go fuck yourself and don't even have thoughts about me, please. Respectfully, get out of here. Now I'm like, I'm spiritually fit, and I want to get back into fitness, Ray, because you get me back into this, because now I want to be physically fit to house my spirituality and actually grow into that person. So now I'm doing it with the right intentions. I want to have a healthy body to house this healthy mindset so I could be stronger for other people. Recently, I got a phone call at 11 p.m. at night. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, just driving up to my sister's. And he's like, oh, is there any way you could pick me up at my house? Which I would have had to backtrack 20 minutes to pick him up. I have a flat tire. It's 11:30 at night now. It's fucking cold outside. And I'm like, yes, I can do that. So I'm like, not only do I have to pick tools up, but like help jack a car. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on there. And then, a few days prior to that, I was like changing a battery and like having to tow a car. Like, I have to be physically fit that I can even stay up that late and run for that long without whatever. And I'm like, I need to better myself physically now. So you motivated me that way too, Ray. Not even just sharing your story, but like we partnered with somebody to help us with this whole mental health awareness thing with music, and we pitched it to a few people, and people are like, I want to get behind this. I'm like, cool. But now I also want to promote being healthier, drinking more water, and eating whatever. Like, I want to promote just healthy living, period. Talk about stuff, consume good things, have good conversations, talk to your bros about it. Like, this is perfect. This is how a guy's hangout should be. We don't need to be at the bar getting smacked talking about how shitty our relationships are. Hey, what are you doing to better yourself today? Here's a question for all you guys. I want you guys to answer this. We'll start with Ray and then Jukebox, and then we'll go to Baish. What was your favorite part about today, and what did you do for yourself today?
My favorite part about the day was picking up my kids.
Okay. That's awesome.
And singing with them in the car, rapping with them in the car, and realizing like they're 10 times cooler than me. It's just amazing. What I did for myself today, honestly, I think a lot of people take this for granted. I took a few deep breaths. I took a few really good deep breaths.
Good for you.
Especially during some tense and stressful moments. And I think we tend to forget that. One of my best friends, who I hope to get on here one day, always talks about don't forget to breathe. And I think we take that, we take that for granted. But when you get stressed out or upset or you run into triggers, I think the best thing you could do in that moment is take a really good deep breath. And when I tell you, it actually helped. It was like a spiritual breath. Yeah, I did that for myself today.
Good for you, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ginger, what about you? Best part of your day, what did you do for you?
Lately at work it's been very very hectic with the holidays, but we were actually pretty slow today, so I made a point to delegate tasks to everybody else, and I just took it easy. And it was quite nice. Not running around doing all the work. So that's definitely my little peace of mind for the day.
Okay. And,
all right,
and
Baish.
The favorite part of your day, and
actually, the conversation that we had with Michael was pretty promising as well. We told him we told him about this concert that we're working on, and Michael is a manager for some pretty big name artists such as like Dead Mouse and Flowbots and a couple others. He even got us in touch with another band, and he's interested in what we're doing. Yeah, like he's people are interested in this concept for this virtual concert, and it has a potential of being a very big thing that we do more than one time, once a month or something, to give exposure to artists, big and small, from all genres. And just hearing the responses from people that we talk to of how interested they are in it makes it that much more like determination, like gives me that much more determination to make it happen.
So for me, the best part of my day, because I see my kids every day, there, is like watching my wife work on her soap. So she started a soap bit business, and watching her like put in the work and like just sit there and like focus in on it is like awesome, because like seeing her want to do something and push herself to do it, even when she doesn't feel good, for me makes me feel good, because whatever I can do to help her, I will. But just watching her work as hard as she possibly can, is something awesome. And then something I did for myself today was, I've said this before on my podcast, I've told you, it's like every morning you either brush the devil off of you or you shake his hand.
Ooh, I like that. I've honestly never heard that before.
And this morning, I brushed him off. And every morning I brush him off, I can get out of bed. I can be a good husband. I can be a good dad. It's, that day where you shake his hand is when you're not going to be around anymore. So for me,
Okay.
for something for myself, is brushing him off. It's super difficult. Like, Ray said, breathing. When you wake up in the morning, sometimes you don't want to wake up in the morning. And I'm not just talking about getting out of bed. I'm just talking about just being alive. And when you have that feeling and you just brush it off and you're like, all right, these are the 3 things that are awesome in my life. Focus on that and then go. And for me, that's my driving force, like almost every single day. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a hell of a way to live, man. I mean, it's crazy, because we all wake up with problems that we know are there, and just being able to push through them and enjoy what you can out of each day is huge, and a lot of people can't do that without help.
Word.
RayRay, you keep hopping in and out there. You good, man?
So the overview, though, and like why I wanted to jump on here too, and I just realized something. What we did right now is we literally just created a pop-up men empowerment group where we're talking about positive things for growth and different things that we do to get through things. That's literally what we're doing right now. And I feel like this is something that we should do as a group. Even we create our own little thing together and chat about this. Ginger, like, honestly, it's just like, yeah, we're getting our message out there too, but like, honestly, like, we all come from different backgrounds. Like, I was born in New York State. I've lived all over the country. I've been married for 12 years of my life. I'm only 35 almost. I've got 3 kids. I've been in the military for a long time. Like, I've been through some shit, And it's like, I've never had, like, camaraderie like this with, Baish, I've seen your messages and stuff, but, like, this is the first time I've seen your face. First time I've heard your voice, And it's like, we're literally just strangers having this experience together. And it's incredible. So thank you. So this is a few things I do, like, and Ginger, maybe like here in a few minutes, if you're okay with it, like I would like to set the tone with you guys and go through some of the things that Brofiki does. Stay hydrated. Everybody drink water. I have so many TikTok moms. I love it.
I don't have water. I have candy.
Is it? How do you pronounce your name? Is it Baish?
Yeah.
Like beige, but with Baish.
So much. Oh, Baish.
Big and then
I gotta do that. Baish. We have so much in common. It's almost terrifying, and I'm not gonna get into that on the live. But you mentioned some things with your background and a few things that I was like, yo, is this like my long lost twin brother or something? So there's some serious scary similarities for about 7 different reasons, and it's insane. So, but interesting, man. I definitely would like to hear more of your story, and swap stories for sure.
We could do that. We could do that.
But I'll tell you what, I'm super glad. I'm super glad that you're here, because I know what that taste is like that you had in your mouth for sure. I know that sounded weird, but
it's some sort of candy. I'm not sure what kind of candy it is, but there's some candy in there.
Yeah, what kind of candy was that?
It's like pico. It's Mexican candy.
Fair.
So I do want to just push this out there real quick, and a lot of what we're talking about is related to why we're doing a tour to you, which is, it's a concert where we're reaching out to artists to just do these 15-minute pre-recorded sets, and we're gonna talk about these artists before we share their sets on this live concert. Pardon me, but it's gonna be $15 a ticket, and 22% is going to this nonprofit organization that Jesse was talking about, Seek Safely, and it's about exposure for this charity. It's exposure for the artists. It's exposure for everybody who has issues with mental health and needs somebody to talk to. Just knowing that there's other people out there that have similar issues, just like Ray just said with Baish, So, I mean, it has the potential to reach a lot of people and do a lot of good things.
Dylan's
Yeah. I guess this is a great opportunity. Ray, because you're going to be on the show, what inspired you or motivated you to actually partake in this? I guess that would be a really good question for you to answer for us. Why do you want to partake in this? I mean, because we asked, 15-minute live set recording, and for us, like, why?
A few reasons. One, being on the podcast and having the sidebars that we've had and talking to you guys, like, absolutely, I feel like a spiritual connection for sure. And I'm always one to believe that everything does happen for a reason. Everybody that you cross paths with is for a reason. You might not know immediately, but you will know. Everything plays a role. Everybody plays a role. Number two, it's something that I've actually never done before. And I think it's a really cool concept. I think it's a really cool idea. And I think it's going to reach people in more ways than just what we might think. Like the artist side of me is like, all right, cool. Well, a new set of people get to see me perform. They get to hear music. But there's actually a way deeper undertone in the meaning to that. You know what I mean? It can inspire somebody. It can have somebody thinking. You never know. And I want to put good vibes and good juju out there. And like I said, I believe in what you guys are trying to do. Even though I don't see the entire whole vision, like I can recognize a good chunk of it, a good part of it. And I would love to be a part of that. Rather it completely blows up or rather it stays somewhat small or whatever. That really doesn't matter. And I think that's the really cool thing about it too. So, and then you never know what, like, I'm going to learn from this, what path that I might get set on, which honestly, since I've been on you guys' podcast, I feel like my path has definitely kind of changed a little bit already. And it's like, oh, that's weird. Like, hey, that's.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
But yeah,
my goal with this is just to help one person, just one.
Yeah.
And another thing, like, another thing is you're going to be collaborating with artists that you never even knew existed.
Yeah.
That's legit. Sweet. Tell me you guys got Nev coming on, right? Please.
He is busy tonight, but he is going to be on the concert. He's already confirmed that he is going to be a part of the concert.
Nev is, we're excited, and his music's really cool. And so, RayRay, how do you feel about that? Like, as a musician that's been doing this for a while, I mean, Nev's he's barely getting his feet wet, getting ready to headline his first show in Denver at a venue called Yo Mama's House, which I think is hilarious. And he's never headlined before. and that's this Friday in Denver. So if anyone is watching that's in Denver, please like go support this man. Like I wish I could go. I'm trying to figure it out. Like if I can in the next 2 days, I'm just gonna go and just to support him and show up and do his photos. And I'm gonna be in Vegas with you in 2 weeks, doing the same thing. But it's like I never like I never even knew that you could start out as a musician and just use TikTok as your outlet, and that's pretty much his story. I'm like, what? That's incredible.
Yeah, dude. It's persistence. It's being one thing I can say for those that watch his episode. I didn't even know about him until he aired on you. Was on you guys' podcast, and I listened. I was at work. For those that are watching, I'm on the East Coast, so you know, you guys' podcast comes on a little later than most people are up. But listening and watching some of the things he was talking about, like he kept it so real, it wasn't even funny. I mean, there was so many comments that I wanted to say, like on some of the stuff hitting on, and I was like, bro, this dude like piercing my soul. But he was true and so real, and that speaks volumes. It's no surprise to me that somebody like him is getting the traction. If that's who he truly is, being so open, being so honest, and being so vulnerable, that's who he really is. On top of the amazing music, bro, no, it's not a surprise that he's headlining, Denver. I'm expecting, stadium tours, in the next 8 to 3 years. Easy.
He just turned 26 last Wednesday. A week ago today was his birthday. He turned 26.
That's insane, man. That is absolutely insane.
Seriously, I look at him as like a... Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like that story that he was talking about with the alcohol and some of the toxic people in his life, and even the non-toxic people that he just had to step away from. And then for him to own and recognize his part that he played in that toxicity. Not a lot of people are willing and can do that and admit that publicly. That is a very hard thing to do because of what we talked about earlier, ego. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that dude, take my support and my money, bro. You got it. I'll buy concert tickets. Cool. Yeah, I'll buy a CD. I'll buy a t-shirt. Let's go. Keep doing what you're doing.
I want him to autograph my car just like I had Golden Goddess. Swear to you, I have an older car that's like it's been great. I want all of my friends to just autograph my car with a Sharpie. Why not?
Yes.
Started a trend.
Okay.
Baish, did you get an opportunity to listen to any of his stuff?
I listened to like one or two things. Because usually like the only time I'm usually listening to music is either when I'm working out, when I'm or when I'm upset. So
okay, that's fair. That's great.
So usually I listen to his stuff when I was writing. So usually I write. It helps me now to write stuff after going to my therapist to write stuff out when stuff in my head starts to get jumbled, so I don't go down a rabbit hole. So
you mentioned going to a therapist. Do you think that? I mean, being a man that goes to going to therapy, do you feel like that is very helpful for you?
It is for me, but like when I said it on my podcast, I got like we're not huge, but we're okay. So I got like maybe like 1,400 replies calling me or calling me like a pussy or calling me stuff like that. And the next episode, I just sat there and was like, hey, I can be whatever. Like I'm 6'3" and like 260 pounds. The same stuff someone in a comment is not the same stuff they're going to say to my face.
Answer to my face.
Think about it and think about that person's life is so jacked up. That person's life is so messed up, or they're so
project onto you.
Angry that their best way to get it out is to come at you. So if I need to be your outlet to come at me, whatever. But for me, having a therapist has helped me unravel some things in my life to a point where like I just found out like I have other family on my dad's side, and it's helped me get to a point where I'm not angry. Because before I would have been angry. Now I'm just like, all right, I understand, and I take time to process it. So that's what therapy does for you.
Good for you.
Yeah, it helps. For anybody that needs therapy, like honest therapy. Just going to therapy just because someone tells you to go is not going to help you.
Yeah.
You know,
have an intention. Like, hey, I feel better. I want to sleep better. I want to understand my friendships with so-and-so. I want to understand this breakup better. I went for a couple years as well. And I tried, medications that they had me on. And then I learned something that my therapist told me. And she said to me, and this is honestly like why I even started doing this. She's like, can I be honest with you? I'm like, what's that? She's like, you come in here and you already know what you want to talk about. And you pretty much talk yourself through it. And she's like, it's incredible that you can do that. And she said, you are a talk therapist. You need talk therapy. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you can still come in here as often as you want. She's like, I don't want to waste your time. She said, you literally just need to talk to someone that will listen to you. And they don't need to agree with you. And this doesn't work for everybody, obviously. But like Ginger and I were talking about this earlier today. And I just told him, I said, I honestly could say that you're one of my best friends that I've never met in real life. You're just a virtual friend. And I said, not only do we have this business model, not only like are we, because that's kind of how it started was he brought me on as a host and then we decided to co-host a show and then we started business. And it came down to like, I was having a hard day. I had to be honest with myself and my team. I've got all these people looking up to me to do all this shit. And I'm like, I need to take a step back. And he writes me and he says, I want you to know that you can talk to me about life too. You can talk to me about your hardships. And this is coming from another man. And I look up to him a lot because of what he's done. And me being grateful, I'm just like, I want to help make whatever he's doing better. I want to help promote him or whatever, because he's made me feel like I'm acknowledged, I'm seen, heard. But then he's also giving me a safe space, although it's virtual through text or over the phone, that I want you to know that you can talk to me about things. And then I would talk to him and I said, the other thing at the end is he's like, do you want my opinion on this? Meaning he'd actually take the time and give me the space to vent. And then he'd ask me permission and ask me in consideration, would you like my opinion on this topic? And I'm like, fuck, dude, I've never had that amount of respect from anybody. And we need to set the example. And this is the shit we need to talk about. Like, hey, I'm going through stuff. And if I just dump it on him and he might be having a bad day, be considerate. I'm like, can you emotionally handle this? You have the emotional energy and the space for this, because if not, I'll respect that. I love you, but I need to talk about something. And although you're normally my go-to person, I need to make sure that that's okay with you, because I don't want to, So that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's what a friend is. I asked him, what is a friend? Go ahead.
And Baish can say the same thing about our friendship. The same reason we met. I mean, we both have our struggles with a lot of things, and same thing. We've known each other for 2 years now, and we talk as much as you and I do, Jesse. So, but it doesn't hurt me to listen to you guys and give you my opinions on things, whether you accept it or not. It's up to you. But I mean, if people need people to vent to, man, just having somebody that'll listen is huge.
Yeah, we're creating a brotherhood and a camaraderie, and then we get to share this and create a safe space, not just for us and our friends. And this goes across everything. Like I encourage women to do this. I encourage everybody in the LGBTQ plus community as well. This is agnostic across everybody, for kids, people of all ages. Like we need to start creating these little powwows and actually check in on each other and let people know, like, hey, I'm thinking of you, or hey, I noticed you're going through some stuff. If you need a safe space, I've got a mental and an emotional space for you. That's simple as that. Just letting people know I acknowledge you and your hardships, and I love you, and I'm here, period. Just knowing that, I think, has helped me out a lot, and I need more Gingers in my life. You know what I mean?
I'm plenty, guys.
I had to throw that in there. But yeah, we're creating a movement, and it's all about using your voice, and you're sharing it through music. You're sharing it through podcasting. I'm sharing it by just, I don't even know. I can't even explain to you what the hell I do. I'm just here, and I just make things better. That's it.
So what did you want to talk about, Brofiki, besides the concert stuff, before we kind of wrap things up?
Yeah, so I had this idea that this is more than just a concert idea, right? I want I want people that are like, that are just down and they're not feeling good, whatever. Just like Baish said, like he listens to music when he's at the gym or he's like emotional, whatever. Like he needs a minute. Or like for me, I listen to music all the time, but oftentimes like if I'm going through shit or whatever, I open up Spotify and Spotify homepage comes up. Like I want to be able to like not just host virtual concerts, but I want to host virtual just things, you know? I thought about this, like, my daughter's an artist. She won first place in the Utah State Art Fair in all 3 categories this summer. My daughter did, 15 years old. She took first place for the entire state of Utah. She's incredible. And I came up with this idea. I'm just like, there's a few people that use like twitch.tv and they'll like draw stuff and they'll do commissions and stuff. But like, what if we held something as simple as that, like a virtual like craft night for people to come in and be like, yo, here's some life hacks, and everybody comes in and like shows their favorite life hack and just like learn more about cool shit. Did you guys know that garbage bags are inside out when you pull them out of the box? They sure are.
I did know that.
They are. Surprise, motherfucker. I'm just kidding. And then, but it's a real thing. And if you pull it inside out, then you put it in, you don't have to fucking push the air down. I didn't know that. The seam on the garbage bags, they're inside out when they're rolled out. Nobody taught me that shit. And I didn't know that you're supposed to put the strainer on top of the pasta and then dump it out. You don't dump the pasta into the strainer in the sink. And I'm like, the fuck? So I made a TikTok about that and I posted it. I'm like, how old were you when you found out? Right now? And it blew up. I'm like, life hacks, man. Same thing with like, how do you use a lighter as a bottle opener? Well, that's what these things are for. You just crack it open. That'd be cool. Or just like, even like comedians coming on and doing like a little show and just like tips and tricks. Like, this isn't just about concerts and music. It's about like, it's like backstage with Brofiki is me getting the backstory of just anyone and everyone. It's agnostic. I want to know how you became the head security guard of this event space, because not only like you get to help like meet all the musicians and hang out with them after this show, but it's like you're help saving lives by making sure people are safe. That's why my business partner does it. He went to a music festival 4 years ago and his friend overdosed, or it was laced with fentanyl, and he died. And it's because they were understaffed with security guards. And so instead of him going to the events and actually attending them, he volunteers as a security guard. And during Get Freaky on Sunday, we had 8 people take drugs that were laced with fentanyl, and they had enough security guards there. And he was one of them to help 3 of them with the ambulance. That's a story that needs to be told. Like, these aren't just people trying to tell you to like just be safe. Like, they actually fucking make a difference and save lives. So it's telling that story, and it's like, okay, we're doing this with musicians, we're doing all these things. Like, this is a limitless possibility of giving people a place to go to just learn stuff from all sorts of different people. Now, obviously, people want to come check out celebrities and get to know their stories because whatever they're following. But we're more than what we do. You're more than a musician, Ray. You're a father. You're a son. You're a sibling, you're a friend, you're an aunt, you're an uncle, you're, whatever. Baish, same thing. Like, you're a dad, you got kids, you're a husband, you're a friend, jukebox, you're a freaking supervisor at Costco. There's no way to fucking know that.
Excuse me, sir. I'm a manager at Costco.
The manager at Costco.
Okay, my bad. Thank you for correcting me.
Food court.
you're good, man.
Point, though, is like, what do we do? It's like, what do you do for fun? What do you do for yourself? Like, shit, I have empowering conversations with people of all different backgrounds, man. And I want to learn, and then I want to turn around and regurgitate like what I learned and share with everyone else, because I've been through some shit. I want to share what I learned with you guys, but I also want to know what shit you went through. And I want to talk about that. And then I want to figure out something that I could do. Like, I was on a call with Ray for about an hour before I came over here. And I gave him some self-improvement, self-empowerment tools that he's never heard of, ever. And it's a project that I'm working on for the entire world, and it's just, if you got some for me, send it my way. You want me to check out a book or some shit, just send it my way. I want that. I think we should start saying that. Like, I want to be better than who I was yesterday, and I want to be the person that yesterday needed. Because I have kids, and if my if my son were to grow up and be a man like me, would I be proud of that right now? Fuck yes, I would. I'm proud of who I am. Also, my daughters, if they were going to end up with a man like me, or even my son, regardless, like, if my kids were to be with a man or be a man like me, would I be okay with that? Would I be happy about that? Fuck yes, I would. And I'm going to keep raising the bar every day, and I can't do it alone. And I'm not going to, and I don't need to. We got each other. Let's keep it up. So that's what I was getting at, is just come together. Everybody's got a story. We're working on some stuff. This virtual concert thing's going to be badass, but that's just the beginning, man. And we honestly, we open it up to suggestions. We want to hear what you guys want to see this turn into. I can't wait to hug you guys in real life, honestly.
It'll happen eventually.
Let's do a group hug. You ready? Let's do a group hug.
Sure, yeah.
Let's do a group hug. Get in there, man. Let's go. I love you guys. So that's my 2 cents. What about you? You guys wrap up your stuff, and then we get going.
I just want to say, having all of you on board with this is huge. And Baish, thank you for wanting to, help do this as well. Brofiki, you and I have definitely opened up some huge, just ideas with this concert concept, and actually more than just that. And Ray, if it wasn't for you, I don't think we would have pushed it as fast as we have.
Story.
Yeah, we're just building, man. We're building off of something that you helped us with. So, and it's going to be big. It's going to be fun and interacting. It's going to be a live chat as well. I'm sure some of these artists, including you, might jump on if you can and even talk, because we're wanting to do this sort of like a New Year's Eve ball drop style show where we come on as hosts and we're talking about the show and the artists that we have coming on and about them, do the sets and then talk about how the set was, and then get some input from guests and people watching, and even have the artists in the live chat as well, talking to the people watching.
This is weird, and it just popped in my head right now. I had a dream about you too.
What do you mean?
And Brofiki.
Seriously.
Hit me like right now. And like I think I was telling Dylan about it, but I stopped because I had to go into work. And it was like, I didn't know who you guys were. And Ray, you were standing somewhere with like a leather jacket on and a mic in your pocket. And Brofiki was in a car with Sharpie people, right? See, that's why when you said Sharpie on, I just looked at it like, all right, maybe that's weird. But then that's why I sat here. It's like, it's weird. It's odd. I don't know.
And I'm
there's meaning
on December. I'm driving down to Las Vegas on Dylan's birthday to meet Ray for a thing that he's doing there, and we're filming a music video, and I'm doing his photos. I'm driving down to Vegas literally to meet him in real life and to help support him on his journey in 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna sign my car with a Sharpie, right? I'll bring a leather jacket for you, brother. We'll go to the damn DI and get one for we'll go thrift shopping. We'll pull a Macklemore, and then we'll even tag him in it.
Let's do it. I'm game. Shit.
Me too. Shit, Baish. Thanks for sharing that. That was I literally pulled out a dream book right before I got out here. I have a book about dreams and interpretations. Literally, I was putting shit in my car, and I set it out, and I set it down on a tote, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because my friend's here with me, and I wanted to go over, because she has a lot of dreams too, that she's been chatting about, and then here you are talking about it, and I have this book of how to interpret dreams in my garage.
It's just crazy, because I told Dylan a year and a half ago or a year ago when we were doing on some other platform that interviewed his first person. I was just like, dude, you're amazing when you interview people. And he was like, no, I'm just doing it just for. I'm like, no, listen to me.
No, he's meant for it. Yeah,
it's good. You're not asking the same questions everybody else asks. It's something different. It's something awesome. And every single time I tell him hey, you I told him I think a week ago, you got a rocket on your back. I got no problem dumping fuel in it. If you need me to market something, you need me to push something out there, you need me to plaster you all over our IG or our podcast or whatever it is, you want me to sing and wipe soap, whatever. I don't care, because I see it. And it, I told him, I've had very few people in my life that have wanted nothing for just being there. And Dylan is one of those people that want nothing for just being there, and will try to help and do stuff because he is. I mean, now
thank you, seriously.
Yeah, it's I told him I met Dylan, and it was just more or less we connected like that. As soon as we started talking to each other, And it was, that's why I'm on here right now. That's why I've met you two now, is because of him. So I like to give people their proper service. Besides his kind of like, his opinion being like right there when you need it, like Dylan is a genuine person. When he talks, it's not just because he wants to. So I just thought I needed to throw that out there and give you your flowers.
I love that, Baish. Thank you for sharing that.
Don't cry, Dylan.
Dylan doesn't cry. He don't have emotions. What are you talking about? He's a ginger. He was born soulless. That's why he's friends with me, because I'm like the most like emotional motherfucker out of all of us. Guarantee it. He's like, I need to find somebody that's exactly 100% just pure emotion. Hey, Jesse, do you want to be my friend?
There you go.
Excellent, Ray. Do you want to add anything on, man? Anything you want to say to anybody? Whatever. Or just get out.
Thank you guys for having me on, man. And
Always.
I feel like this was a therapy session in itself tonight.
It kind of was.
Like every time I link up with you guys, even if it's a phone call, text message, Instagram chat or something, I feel like my soul gets a little bit more full every time, and I appreciate that. And any part I can play in helping to reciprocate that, that's what we're all here for, man. So I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it 100%.
Hey, what we do is make friends. I mean, that's no joke. I keep in touch with everybody that I've had on, and that's not a joke.
Absolutely, no, you're right.
Man, we gotta link up. We gotta link up. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Baish, you're gonna be a part of this concert. He's a part of this concert. There's gonna be more of this.
Oh, yeah. We're still figuring out our own thing, because like we have Facebook Live as well as Instagram Live. We're just testing it out with TikTok, because TikTok, honestly, I mean, I kind of dissected it. So TikTok, like time is now, but it's talk about what makes you tick. That's my interpretation. TikTok, talk tick. Talk about tick. TikTok, the time is now, speak now, and just go live, press buttons. So that's the message that I kept getting over and over from Source Energy. I'm pretty agnostic when it comes to religion, but when it comes to spirituality, because I've lived all over the country. I've gone to every church. I've studied things for years, because my mom's like, if you want to be religious, study religion. If you want to be a part of a church, study the dynamic of the church and actually attend them. And so I did. And so I've practiced 12 religions now, and I finally just came to the, my own terms, but it's, I kept getting the same answers over and over, and then numbers and synchronicities. And that's why I dive into all of these patterns. And, it's like, when you're ready for it, we'll go through that. But Ginger, like that's why I was on the phone with Ray. Like I ran this human design, and I sent him the apps for CoStar and the pattern and for numerology, because you have to be ready for it. I mean, I could speak till I'm blue in the face about it, or read stuff to you, but unless you're ready for it, right? And then I asked him, I said, after you learn this stuff, I want you to talk about what you learned and share this stuff with someone else, because it's free. That's free information, basic stuff. You want a deep reading? Get a hold of me, and I'll guide you in the right ways. It's just, again, sharing tools that I found on my own while I was driving for 6 months in a car, not knowing where to go. That's what I came up with. That's what I share with people. What I realize is
I need to throw this out there. I got like 3% left, so my phone's about to die.
Good. Great. So Ginger's a fire sign, Ray's a fire sign, my business partner's a fire sign. Y'all are fucking fire, and they're all three of you are manifesting generators, and you're all fire signs. So that's a correlation that I found about an hour ago, which is freaking cool. So I'm like even finding new stuff. So there we go.
Yeah, this is this is a good way to meet people and just kind of share stories and make friends and like right now, Baish and RayRay, like, hey, let's talk, man. We got similar stories to tell, so it's huge. So
we like bringing people together. That's what we do.
All right, hey, I am gonna get off here though before my phone just shuts off on me. So
did we just become best friends?
Yeah, you know it. All right, guys, we'll talk later.
Guys.
Thank you guys for chatting and hanging out with us too. So.